Hi and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. The Ocean Center has a busy schedule with conventions, trade shows, special events, concerts, and more all year long. There is one event that stands out from the rest. It's called Fire Rescue East, and it's much more than a trade show. Then we'll share more passenger traffic increases as we bring you the latest from the Daytona Beach International Airport. Then find out about some special visitors to Volusia County beaches of the feathered kind. And finally, our very own Community Information Director, Dave Byron, sits down with Tim Baylie of Volusia County's Parks, Recreation, and Culture Division. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. If you've visited Volusia County beaches recently, you may have noticed thousands of visitors who once again are making the area their winter home. The visitors are of the feathered variety. More than 14 different species of gulls make Volusia County beaches their home from November through March, making it North America's largest concentration of gulls. The seabirds spend the day along the Halifax River and other inland waterways and on the ocean. Then around 3 p.m. they head for the beaches at Daytona Beach shores. And at night, as it gets dark, they fly offshore to roost in ocean waters just beyond the breakers. Michael Brothers, manager of the county's Marine Science Center, said of the 14 species of gulls, there are 5 species that human visitors can see every day.
This is one of the greatest wildlife spectacles in Florida, and it takes place every evening during the winter months right here in Volusia County. And it's an extraordinary accumulation not only of gulls, but of many different kinds of gulls. We've had over 14 species of gulls that have been found there. Most of them are 5 species that are the most frequent visitors. And these are the laughing gull, the ring-billed gull, the herring gull, the lesser black-backed gull, and the great black-backed gull.
Brothers said researchers at the Marine Science Center soon will be conducting a research project on the lesser black-backed gulls to better understand these birds, which were virtually unknown in the Volusia area 40 years ago.
The great mystery is, where did these birds come from? Because they weren't just not found in Florida, they weren't found in the United States. They weren't found in North America. And they are really from Europe. It's a European gull that colonized Iceland, then colonized Greenland, and then all of a sudden birds started to appear throughout North America. The mystery is, where do these gulls come from? And so the Marine Science Center is working with the bird bander on a research project to find out the origin of these birds. Where are all of these birds coming from?
Large concentrations of gulls can be found up and down the county's beaches, but the best viewing area is in Daytona Beach shores between 3 and 6 p.m. If you'd like to learn more about the Marine Science Center in Ponce Inlet, which is also home to the Mary Keller Seabird Rehabilitation Sanctuary, you can visit the center online at marinesciencecenter.com. More than 600,000 passengers traveled through the Daytona Beach International Airport last year. It's the highest passenger count at the county-operated airport since 2008. The airport wrapped up 2013 with an 11% passenger traffic increase in December compared with December of 2012. During December, 45,535 passengers traveled through the county-operated airport compared with 40,977 in December of 2012. For the 12 months ending December 31st, the airport recorded 607,977 passengers. It's a 4% increase over 2012.
It's a big increase, and what we've seen in the last couple of years is both Delta and U.S. Airways have been switching to larger aircraft with more seats. And what's happening when we put those seats in our market, those seats get filled. So we think we're going to see some more of that in 2014. In fact, we know we are because we've seen the advanced schedules. So we're going to see more capacity as well and competitive fares. So we're looking forward to a good year.
During December, Delta and U.S. Air averaged 90% passenger loads. That's an increase of 5% over last December. The airport's administration is expecting passenger traffic to continue to be stable to increase in 2014 as the economy continues to improve.
And I think more people are traveling. We've got great service with Delta Airlines and U.S. Airways. And I think people are beginning to see that, Daytona Beach International Airport is just plain easy, and it's a great alternative for air travel. So I think it's doing very well.
Air service development will be a priority for 2014 as the airport's leadership seeks additional air service options for the community. As for total aircraft operations, all landings and takeoffs increased 3% over last year to 292,291. Based on recent Federal Aviation Agency data, Daytona Beach International Airport ranks the second most active in Florida for aircraft operations, just behind Miami. For more information and for flight schedules, you can go to flydaytonafirst.com. The Ocean Center recently hosted one of the largest convention and trade shows for fire and rescue technology. An estimated 6,000 delegates were back at the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach recently for the Fire Rescue East Convention and Trade Show. The event, sponsored by the Florida Fire and Emergency Services Foundation and managed by the Florida Fire Chiefs Association, or FFCA, included continuing education classes for professional and volunteer firefighters. It included a trade show and competitions. Fire Rescue East has been coming to the Ocean Center since 2009 and is booked through 2015. The group was the first convention of its size in the newly expanded Ocean Center in 2009.
I think that the reason that the Fire East Convention and Trade Show keeps coming back, I would go back in a little bit in history. They were the very first event that we did in the expanded new facility that was in January of 2009, February, in that period of time. So they're very happy with the service that they get, with the world-class facility that we have, and the surrounding amenities that we have are very convenient. Provides a great experience, and I think our staff and our stakeholders in the community provide tremendous courtesy and personal customer service to them.
Fire Rescue East has experienced considerable growth since 1994, when the convention had 34 exhibits and 600 attendees. This year's event used nearly all of the Ocean Center's 200,000 square feet of indoor exhibit and meeting space and 36 breakout rooms. In the 100,000 square foot exhibit hall, everything from fire trucks to bunker gear was on display. Though Fire Rescue East is an industry event, the public was invited to attend its free trade show throughout the 4-day event. For more information about the Ocean Center and upcoming events scheduled there, you can visit oceancenter.com. Well, it's time to join reporter Michelle Coates on the Business Beat as she shows you some of the best in Volusia County. With Valentine's Day around the corner, one local manufacturer has the Valentine Market cornered, Angell and Phelps Chocolate Factory.
I'm Michelle Coates with the Business Beat, and today we're at the top 10 sweetest attractions in the nation, Angell and Phelps on Beach Street. During the presidency of Calvin Coolidge, in the days of flapper dresses and 21-cent gallons of fuel, Riddell Angell and Cora Phelps began Angell and Phelps in Daytona Beach. The feisty pair perfected chocolate making before the days of air conditioning.
What we're best known for is fresh, handmade chocolates and all kinds of different assortments.
In the 1920s, Ms. Angell and Ms. Phelps opened their first Angell and Phelps store on Beach Street. At the time, opening a chocolate factory was quite a bold move for the pair. They held on to the business for nearly 30 years before selling it to a local man who held on to it for another 30 years or so. And when Mr. Reisinger was ready to sell, he found the perfect buyer. The Smith family has nurtured the business for the last 25 years. Customer service with a personal touch, high-quality ingredients, and a few secret recipes have been the keys to their success.
Our cream centers, a lot of people rave about that. Even people that say to me all the time, never used to like the creamy ones in the box, but they like ours. They're very flavorful.
The Smiths moved the store to a larger facility, a few blocks north on Beach Street. But that's about all that's changed. They've added a few more new products like chocolate-covered potato chips and key lime chocolates.
Really, it's the same basic recipe and you add different flavors. A lot of these things are like that. We've added some white chocolate over the years. That was a big thing that people wanted to see more white chocolate, so we actually have a peanut butter white chocolate. It's in a butterfly shape, so we call it peanut butterfly.
That long-standing quality was recognized by TripAdvisor.com. The chocolate factory was listed 9th on America's top 10 sweetest attractions. The store offers free factory tours Monday through Friday, samples included.
What makes us unique is that people can come in and pick out their own kind, especially dark chocolates that some people can't get in other places, they can get here. Some of our most popular items, though, is the chocolate molded items that we make, all kinds of unique shapes, especially when they say Daytona Beach, handwritten on the particular mold.
The process itself looks a lot like that famous I Love Lucy episode where Lucy and Ethel were working in a chocolate factory. Except you won't see these employees stuffing their faces, just happy customers in the candy shop. The sights, sounds, smells, and most importantly, the taste of delicious chocolate will overwhelm your senses. At any given time, the store has about 2,000 pounds of chocolate on hand. There are no preservatives or fillers in these recipes, but that's not a concern. This stuff practically flies off the shelves.
If you look towards the doorway, you'll find a machine churning white chocolate.
The chocolate business is usually very seasonal, but Angell and Phelps, thanks to their free tours, is busy year-round. Most of their sales are made to locals, but Smith also reaches out to tourists and chocoholics online. Visit this Daytona landmark and enter the world of fabulous, delicious chocolate. Check it out at angelandphelps.com or stop by for a tour. I'm Michelle Coates for the Business Beat.
The timing of flu is very unpredictable and can vary from season to season. Flu activity most commonly peaks in the U.S. in January or in February. However, seasonal flu activity can begin as early as October and continue to occur as late as May. The Florida Department of Health reminds residents and visitors that the best way to protect against the flu is to get vaccinated each year. Stephanie Strong has more information about flu prevention in this segment of Community Health Matters.
Staying healthy is a priority in order to keep up with your busy life. Concerns about germs and how to avoid them are on most minds, especially during this unpredictable influenza season. Getting a flu vaccine is the first and most important step in protecting against this serious illness.
Flu shots are the most important factor that protects us from getting the flu each year. So we encourage all people now 6 months and older to get an annual flu shot.
Everyone who is at least 6 months of age should get a flu vaccine. The influenza virus is unpredictable, and how severe it can be varies widely from one season to the next, depending on many circumstances.
Besides getting a flu shot, the other things that you can do are the very basic personal hygiene that we recommend all the time, but particularly during flu season, which are to wash your hands frequently, particularly before you eat, to cough into your elbow, cough or sneeze into your elbow, and also to try to not touch your face. Many of us have this habit of touching our face throughout the day, and that is unfortunately a way that we can make ourselves sick because we have germs on our hands that we then transmit either through our nose or our mouth, which can then make us sick.
People who have the flu often feel some of these symptoms: fever, cough, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, muscle or body aches, headaches, and fatigue. In order to ensure that you remain healthy throughout this flu season, be sure to get a flu shot and protect yourself. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
As always, if you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can log on to volusiahealth.com. Time now to head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron as he sits down for an in-depth discussion with the Director of Volusia County's Parks, Recreation, and Culture Division, Tim Baylie.
The Volusia County Council has placed a major priority on the construction of recreational trails. Right around the corner are the start of the latest sections of trail development in Volusia County, and the news from Tallahassee that the Cross-County Rail Trail may be funded in this year's legislative session. With us in the studio today for an update on Volusia's trail system is our County Parks, Recreation, and Culture Director, Tim Baylie. Tim, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Very well, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Hey, for those people, Tim, that are not familiar with the county's trail system, first of all, let's be sure that we all understand what a trail is. When we say trail system, what does that mean?
Well, when we classify our showcase trails, it's a 12-foot wide paved structure, paved surface. And it starts up, we've got Spring to Spring Trail, which is up in DeLeon Springs, and it goes from DeLeon Springs all the way down south through DeLand, down into the Orange City to Berry area, cross through Gemini, and then over to Green Springs Park, hence DeLeon Springs to Green Springs.
And you know, I think a lot of people, when they think of trails, they think of like the Appalachian Trail or a hiking trail or that sort of thing, a walk through the woods. We're not talking about that at all. We're talking about some trails that you can rollerblade on, you can run on, you can ride a bike on, and there are actually standards that you have to follow in the design and construction.
That's correct. You know, when we look at these, we look at safety as our primary concern, and we try to, on the areas that we have a sight line that's not 100 feet or greater, where it's curved, we add lines in the center of the asphalt, so to encourage folks to stay on the right side, to eliminate any head-on incident. And then we also put speed limit signs on the trails. We put stop signs. There's driveways that we have to cross over, so we make sure that both the traffic is aware that there is a trail there, as well as the citizen that's on the trail is aware that they're crossing a street.
So on any given day, you could go out to any one of our trails and you could find people, they might be riding a bike, they might be taking a walk very casually, they might be rollerblading, running, that sort of thing. I guess that's why you call them multi-use trails.
Yep, absolutely. You know, the biggest, when we do surveys in terms of who's using the trails and how often they're using them and that kind of thing, what we've determined is about 50.2% of the population is really your walkers. And then the next largest population segment is your bicyclists, which I think is 30.3, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then your next segment is your joggers.
You know, one of the things that is interesting about this trails program, and the council, county council has placed a big priority on this, but one of the things that's interesting is it's not only a recreational opportunity for folks, but there's an economic development side to this.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that's one of the big benefits that people sometimes don't put a dollar figure to, but you know, folks come from all over the area to try to use our trails. And not only that, they go in the restaurants, they stop in the convenience stores when they're here. The bicycle shops gain more business from bicycle use and helmets and bike purchases. So there's a whole bunch of economic development as you build these trails. People do use them, and they buy those bicycles or helmets or food that goes along with the usage of the trails.
So Tim, the county is actively involved in adding more trails. Give us kind of, if you will, a description starting from northwest Volusia County. Take us down the west side of Volusia County. Take us with the map across Daytona into Osteen, and then you're going to go across the county into South Volusia into the Edgewater area. So let's start with a description in northwest Volusia County of the existing trail system and fill us in on those sections that are coming along.
This is the showcase trail map, and I'd like to start up here by DeLeon Springs Park. This is an existing trail that goes from DeLeon Springs State Park south. It ends right there in the Glenwood area, which is an area that we're getting ready to construct. We've already been to the public and talked to them about the design of that, and we've come across a solution that works for the county and connected these two segments together, and the public are okay with the alternative. And then it connects to this area right in here, which is also along Glenwood Drive in there. And then we get to a point where it's share the road, mainly because we have some right-of-way and some ownership issues. And so this is a share the road over to the Lake Beresford Park area. And then at Lake Beresford Park, you can traverse the trail all the way down to French Avenue, right outside the Blue Springs State Park entrance. And then this section right in here from French Avenue to Detroit Terrace is a segment that we're still working out some minor details. Once we have those worked out, then this section here will begin construction. And then from Detroit Terrace down to 1792 is currently funded for design, but not funded for construction. We're hopeful that we'll get some funding for that section in here for construction, but right now it's just design funded. And then when you get over to 1792, the trail traverses right in front of Gemini Springs Park, and then if you go south, you get to Lake Monroe Park, which is right down here, and then there's also the Sunrail station. If you continue to go along that trail segment there, you can go north over to the historic DeBerry Hall Mansion, and then right there, right outside of River Oaks, is a section that goes underneath I-4 that is breaking ground today. And though that section would be completed in about 150 days, that section of trail will be open to the public and will connect up to the existing trail that's over here on the other side of I-4, and that's right opposite Daytona Boulevard. And then it is existing trail all the way past Thornby Park into the Green Springs Park area, and so that's where the Spring to Spring Trail technically terminates. And then the East Central Regional Rail Trail it picks up here and travels on the rail corridor, and it goes from Green Springs Park currently to 415 is existing and open. This section right over here over 415, a bridge is going to be constructed. I believe there'll be a ground opening sometime in mid to late January, and then this section here would be constructed shortly thereafter. This section all the way through here from Guys Road to Gobbler's Lodge and onward is currently unfunded. However, the state's 5-year capital improvement project or improvement program has it in their budget, in their proposed budget, and hopefully in June timeframe, legislature will approve the funding and fund this segment in here. And then this trail segment right in here is currently funded. This segment right in here is the bridge over 442, and that is also going to be breaking ground here in mid to late January. And then this section in here would be developed as well.
So Tim, perhaps in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, you'll be able to go virtually from, let's say, up in the DeLeon Springs area, all down the west side of the county, all through Daytona, over to Osteen, and all the way across the county to Edgewater. Man, you got to be a good runner to do that.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's right. The only addition is that area south of Glenwood that we don't have public right away. That's really the part where we're really going to have to spend some time to find some ways to define that alignment. That would be on road currently right now because we don't have any alternatives. But yes, you can travel all that way. The next step that we're just starting looking at recently is going from DeLeon Springs to the Putnam County line.
Right.
Instead of on road like we originally had thought, we're looking for alternatives to actually build a trail.
Well, Tim, I know that the county council, headed up by Ms. Northey, has been actively behind the Trails program. I think there's a set aside in the County Echo program for ongoing Trails money. And really, this is really starting to become quite a story in Volusia County, I would think.
Yep, absolutely. Trails are the hottest linear park we have going on right now. Trails are, we call them linear parks, and we're really building a lot of them. If I look at how many miles of trails, which I think it's 22.1 miles of trails that we have on ground right now, we've got another 26 miles or so that's funded, and then if we get the monies from the state and that section that we're looking at to get funded, that's another 14.9 miles. So you're really going to have a lot of miles of trails.
Close to 50 miles, man.
That's right.
That's
right.
unbelievable.
Yep.
And through some of the most scenic property in Volusia County, I mean, you go out there and the views are breathtaking.
You bet. Feels like you're in a different place. I mean, once you're in a city and you're traveling down this trail and it's completely canopied by trees. I mean, it's really a unique experience. I encourage everybody to get out there and get on your trails.
And Tim, for people that may want more information, how do they get more information?
Well, you go to the Volusia.org website,
right.
Go to the parks or go to trails. On that pull-down menu, you go to either one, and either way you'll get to that, that trails website. What I did was I updated the trail website recently to give you a big map that shows the East Central Region Rail Trail and the Spring to Spring Trail and all the sections on where they're going to be developed and what time and that kind of thing. So folks can access it that. Plus I have some drill down sections that gives you a little more information in terms of streets and that kind of thing that shows you.
Well, Tim, I want to thank you very much for sharing the information with us. Obviously this is really good news, and this trail system is growing literally by leaps and bounds. There will be some events this year, some groundbreaking, some bridge construction, trail construction. It's going to be a busy year.
Yes, it's going to be great. Thank you.
Our guest today, Tim Baylie. He's the county's Parks, Recreation, and Culture Director. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you, too, for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Did you know you can watch the show there, too? You can even check out the Volusia County Council's meeting calendar on volusia.org. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, topics of interest, activities, workshops, and more. And last but not least, we'd like to invite you to tune in to Volusia Today. It's Volusia County's weekly radio broadcast, and it airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see listed here. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a great evening.